Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. Happy first Monday of April. I'm really excited for tonight's call. This is something that I think it's just so important. You know, we spend a lot of time as a society, I think, normal in general, people spend a lot of time setting a type of like wish goal, like I wish I could do this, or I want to do this, something they wish or want around the top of the year, right? And then dive all in, probably don't have the kind of support they need or the actual tools they need or any like structure in place to actually achieve said goal, and then fizzle out. It's actually happening faster and faster and faster year over year over year. Decades ago, it was like by the 25th of the month. And then even a few decades ago, it was like by the 15th of the month. It's happening faster. People are giving up quicker on their goals when they're not achieving them. And this kind of conversation I find is so crucial because we don't surround ourselves often with people who come back regularly to their goals and reflect on them. And that's a practice that I've tried to instill in this team for the last few years. You saw Kristen's post on the event page saying that it's one of her favorite things. And that's because this is a staple around here. This is a what is the stupid word I'm looking for? This is just something that becomes routine for us in our community, that we don't just set goals, but that we actually reflect and look at what we're doing, look at our actions behind them, take a lens to them, not so that we can condemn ourselves or feel guilty or ashamed or anything like that, just so that we can look at the data. So I'm really excited to do this with you guys tonight. In the chat, before we begin, I would love for you guys to dig in and talk to me about your reason tonight. There's 6 of you on, so I have 5 people joining me. I'm laughing because if you've ever done a team call before, and I do these very regularly for many years now, you probably know the ounces of energy that this takes and time and dedication. So I'm just laughing that there's 5 people on, but you 5 people are my best friends tonight. You 5 people, I want to know, why are you here? What's your reason? Like, there's a lot of people that chose not to get on tonight. Why did you decide to sacrifice an hour on your Monday to get on this call with me? What is your reason? Kristen wants to be better, do better. This is a moment for you to just be a little selfish. Like, you tell me, I don't want you to tell me why you think I want you to be here. I truly want to know why. What's in it for you? Why do you get on these? Chelsea said, this community has made such a difference for me that I want to be surrounded by the positivity as much as possible. Chelsea's understanding the power of the fire, right? When you get around a fire of people who are moving in a similar direction, you probably are going to move in that direction. And if you get around a fire of people who aren't moving in that direction, you'll probably follow them as well, right? We are who we surround ourselves with. I love that you're seeing it. Leah said, I love this team and want to build this biz as a place for other women to build confidence in themselves like I have because of this team. Love it. Leah, honestly, to remind myself of all I've accomplished and all I will do, I want to learn, feel better. Ditto, Chelsea, this energy is what I crave. Yes, we're agreeing with you, Chelsea. Ashley, I'm here because this company has given me so much physically, emotionally, financially, and I want to continue to grow and share this gift with others. It's a blessing. How can I not be excited to share that? I know. How can I not? And I want you guys to really cling. Did I miss somebody? Yes, preach. I want you guys to cling to those reasons, you know, because at 5:59, if you're in Central Time, whatever 59 that is for you in your time zone, you have a choice. You know what I mean? You have a choice. And the crappy part for me is I don't have a choice. Like 5:59 rolls around and whether I feel like it or not, I get on. But the reason why I've figured out how to get on regardless if I feel like being on or not is because of the things you're saying. Because I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to grow this business. Beachbody's given me so much. How can I not want to be on this community? And I'm understanding what Chelsea's saying about the people I surround myself with and the direction they're going. That's important. And so I love that. I want you to cling to that, because anytime that I don't feel like doing something, and we're going to be talking about this with our Q1 reflection and looking ahead into Q2, when I got to remove the emotions out of things sometimes. Yeah. So grateful for you guys tonight. Excited to dive into this. Yeah. Love it. Okay. Let's dig into some things. So first, I said it in the post, but I don't know if you were with us when we did our call in December, where we did a little walk. It was a reflection walk, and we go through a whole process in December, and I love it. I freaking love it. Okay. And if you haven't done that, like reflection walk and goal setting, vision casting training, go back and watch the replay. I actually gave you the link to the vision casting one, and we journal a bunch of questions. And tonight specifically, when we do that at the end of the year, we look at all walks of life. Okay. And I think that that's really important. I don't want you to only set Beachbody goals and Beachbody goals only. Absolutely not. I want you to become better people, better humans, better women, right? And that requires goal setting in all areas. But for tonight's purposes, we're going to look specifically at Beachbody and our businesses as coaches. Deal? Yeah. So you're going to want to look at what you wrote down for your 2022 business goals in terms of rank. This is rank to me is coaches you bring on, preferred customers you bring on, right? Success Club is energy in your community, bringing on fresh energy or renewing energy. Yeah. Events, it's just like Chelsea said, getting around that fire. What events were you like, I'm going for that event? Some of the events include the Success Club trip. Some of the events might include your very first live summit. Maybe an event out of your comfort zone was getting to something like NLC or leadership. Yeah, those are events. So what events were you gunning for? Maybe it's a diamond retreat, like that's hosted through our team. And it's not a Beachbody sanctioned event, but it is an Inspire Beauty business sanctioned event, right? And then what income goals? Like, and I want you to be, let's not shy away from this tonight, because this can be an area where it's, I've had lots of one-on-ones over the years where I have women that'll be like, I don't need the money. So I don't want to set income goals because I don't need the money. But everyone would love to have more money, because if you have more money, you have more choices. So I don't want to shy away from this, because I don't want you guys to be just fine. I don't want you to live fine lives. So what makes this business worth your while if you've never thought about it before? Because there should be a number attached to this that you're like, this is worth my while, this is not. I'm going to tell you, friends, if I was making less than I made as a teacher right now, this would not be worth my while. I'd have to be like, okay, what am I missing? Because I've got to be making this a like actual income that is comparable to a 9-to-5 that I could easily get with my degree, right? That might not be your goal, or it was your goal. Maybe it's just you want to offset the cost of your supplements because you don't want that added, burden or paycheck, not paycheck, but debit every month, right? Maybe your income goal is bigger. Maybe it's like you have a car note. When I started, I had a car note and I really wanted to make enough that I didn't have to worry about that car note. So like that was worth it to me. So what's worth it to you? And then if you could be so bold, what's your rank goal for 2022? Drop it in the chat. What's your Success Club goal? And when I say Success Club goal, you can tell me in any format you want. You can tell me in terms of months you would like to hit it, in terms of people you'd like to help this year, or in terms of like SC point average each month or so. You can do it how it makes sense to you. What events are you gunning for, if any? And what is your income goal? And do not shy away from this. There is no answer that is too low, too high, or anything. Everything is welcome here because it is your business. So drop that in the chat. I want us crystal clear on where we said we wanted to go when the year started. And this gets to be a moment where you get to like clap for your fellow coaches and sisters and see what's possible and see who's running in similar directions, and just also kind of see, who you can team up with this stuff, right? Chelsea, I love that income goal. I had a coach years ago whose boys did travel hockey, and that was on her heart, that she wished she could, like, travel hockey and all the stuff that came along with it was really expensive and a little bit out of their budget and their comfort zone for her and her husband. And that meant sacrifice, right? That meant they had to sacrifice like date nights and living maybe a little more extravagantly, or vacations or things like that, right? Extras, because they were going to sacrifice that for their kids. And so that was a goal of hers. And I love that's an amazing income goal, by the way, especially because it's attached to like a child that you stare at every day. I think it's harder to be like, you know, I think it's harder to tell our kids no, right? Sometimes. I don't know. I'm not a parent. You can speak for me. Cousins, boys, you travel. Yes. Okay. It's not I don't think it's even like the stuff. It's like the equipment, right? All right. Continue dropping those in the chat and y'all can reference and cheer for each other. But second, as you're finishing that up, I want you to imagine 6 months from now, let's like pinpoint like, okay, it's the end of March. We've got through the first quarter. Next quarter is going to be to June. Yeah. So think about like summit time. I want you to think about summit time. I want you to think about fall as we transition into fall. So we're like moving out of the summer months, transitioning back into fall. And I want you to think about like end of year. How would you feel if all of these areas looked the same? If your rank didn't change for 6 months, how would that feel? How would you feel? If your Success Club, like let's say right now you're like, okay, I'm not hitting Success Club, and in 6 months you're still not hitting Success Club, how would that feel? Events. If you're like, well, and like I'll speak on behalf of me, you know, year over year over year, I watch people go to leadership, and every year I'm like, golly, and how does it feel if in 6 months I still don't go to leadership? Craptastic, quite frankly. And I'm kind of sick of it. You know what I mean? And so like sometimes you have to miss these things too, by the way, to kind of get sick and tired of not achieving it, right? So if you haven't achieved things, or if you feel like that's happened and you've been in those periodic spaces where you're like, okay, I actually didn't rank advance, or I didn't move the needle forward, or didn't feel like it, months on end or years on end, just know that that's normal, people have also been there. And then income, if you're not making any more than you're making today, how are you going to feel? Is it going to be worth it? Are you going to feel like, you know, maybe this isn't for me? I really want you to think about that, because yes, Chelsea, I love it. I'm so excited you're going to be with us. I'm actually, Chelsea, before Summit, I'm really excited to see you next weekend. Okay. But I asked this question too, because it's really easy in this business to get stuck. And I speak from a place of experience with this, where you just kind of get stuck in a place of comfort zone. And so not getting the invitation to leadership is an event that I've missed many times. And being stuck at a particular rank is something that is true in my business as well, right? And income can sometimes feel stagnant and stuck. And so I think it's important to look at that, because sometimes we just stay stuck because it's comfortable. And sometimes you need someone like me to give you a little kick in the pants and say, just get going, like get unstuck, right? And I have to tell you guys tonight, as we're going through this, like I'm a coach, you know what I mean? And so are you guys. And a coach is different than a cheerleader. A coach, like I want you guys to think, and I don't know if you've been on teams before and have ever had a coach, but your coach pushed you, didn't they? If you were in the high school sport or cheerleading, or even if you had like an instrument you played and you had a band director, were they always nice to you and like told you what you wanted to hear? Did every once in a while you get frustrated with them because you're like, why am I getting cussed out today? Right? Yeah, like, okay, that was me growing up in like my performing world and my dance world. My coaches pushed me. I had times where my coaches would pull me aside and tell me my attitude stank. And I took the feedback and I moved the needle forward to get better, because they had my best interest in mind. I want you to remember that about me. A lot of times when it's like, I love BFF Brittany. I love friend Brittany, but I don't love when Brittany challenges me. And I hate to break it to you, but that's what my job is. That's what your job is too. For your coaches, for your teammates, for your challengers, your job as a coach, it's not to hold their hand and coddle them. It's to call them out when they need it because you know that they were made for more. So I want you to remember that. Okay, so we're going to reflect just a little bit. And this is so I kicked you in the pants just a little bit because I wanted you to see what your goals were. And I wanted you to really get a visceral feeling in your body about what it would feel like if those goals if you just didn't move forward. Yeah. So let's take a second and do like just a little reflection and feel a little bit better about our lives. And I want you to write down an exhaustive list. And when I say exhaustive, I mean exhaustive. I do this after every month, and it's a practice that I love doing. I write in my journal what went well in January, what went well in February, what went well in March. And one of my favorite places to go, and why I love coaching so much, which is just living life out loud on social media, is the first place I turn to when I ask what went well is my story history. I go to the archive. I go to those 3 bars at the top of Instagram when I'm on my profile page. Okay. I go to my profile page. I go to these 3 bars at the top. I click on them and I click on archive. And my settings are set up that I will be able to see this. I don't know if yours are or not, but I go to the archive and I can scroll through and I can look back on everything I did because I live life out loud on social media the way we do as coaches, right? And that helps me jog my memory of what went well. Now, if you only post your workouts and you only do a Rise and Jives on Friday, you're going to have a hard time finding a lot of things that went well based off your social media. So this can also be a nice little practice for you that as a coach, you get to live all of your life out loud, all of it. So I want you to create an exhaustive list. What has gone well so far this year? Go back, January, February, March. And I want you to stick with Beachbody right now. Are there programs you finished? Did you buy the bike? Right? Maybe that was a win for you. You got the bike. Yay. What went well? Maybe you hit Success Club for the first time. Maybe you hit Success Club consistently. What went well? Maybe you got your ticket for Summit since the year has kicked off. Maybe you've never missed a team training. Guys, I want you to like get nitty gritty with this. I've never missed a team training. I've never missed a national wake up call. I've never missed a book club. I went to Super Weekend in January. I hosted a Super Weekend in January. I spoke on a different team call, or I went live on this person's page. I don't know. What went well in 2022 for you so far? Okay, I know that your list can continue to go. And this is, again, this is something that in your morning time would be amazing, because there's going to be things that you're going to have to come back to this, because you're going to jog your memory and all of a sudden you're going to say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot I did that, right? And nothing is too small, you guys. Okay, tell us a highlight. What is your favorite thing you wrote down that's gone well so far in 2022? What is your highlight? Got her invite to the SC 2023 trip. That was definitely a highlight for me as well. Yeah, I'll never forget walking hand in hand with you to pick out that room. Got back to working out 2 weeks post-op. Yes, Chelsea, we've loved seeing you back. And I said it in our bod group today, but I'll say it out loud here. Like, your positive, just support of everyone and getting in like the comments and answering questions, it's been everything. And I see it and I appreciate it so much. First SC rewards trip and getting to take Eric. Yes, hosted Super Weekend in January and the trip in Punta Cana. Yep. Signing back up as a coach. Hey, Holly, giving it another try, girl. We're so glad you're here. And you are in good company, because our team has a lot of coaches who tried on another team and it wasn't a good fit for them and found our team. And that changed everything. Yes. So you're in good company, Holly. Okay. Frankie's going to try not to act a fool tonight. Getting to go on my first SC trip and earning an invite for next year. Yes, girl. And then 4-week gut protocol now with your husband. 12 pounds down is insane. Okay. Love language. Yes. 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 Okay, cool. I love it. And this is, again, exhaustive list. So if you're like, she cut me off too early, my pen wasn't down yet. Just know I love you so much. I've got to keep the ball rolling, but keep writing this stuff down. Also, I want to put music on so that like we can set the mood, but I'm so afraid that they're going to not allow me to put the recording up if I have copyright music on. So that's why it's just going to be awkward silence. But when I do mute and you journal some things, if you want to put a little mood setting music on, you do you, boo, light that candle, set that tone. Okay. One thing, we're going to ask the same question, but we're going to ask it in 2 ways. This is very important. First, I want you to look at what have I been consistent with so far this year that is benefiting me and my goals. Again, these are probably really small things. I've been consistently setting my workout clothes out every night, and that benefits me and my goals. I consistently set my books and my journals out in the living room so that they're ready to go. I consistently set my Energize and my shaker cup out at night so I'm ready in the morning. I'm consistently grocery shopping every weekend. I'm just giving examples. I'm consistently checking into my bod group every day. I'm consistently inviting. I'm consistently on power hours. You get the drift, right? I'm going to give you a second. Write down an exhaustive list of everything you've been doing consistently, which means more often than not. That does not mean, I did not say perfectly, y'all. Read that right. Consistently, that's serving you. Okay, and I'm going to flip it on its head while you're writing. I want you to now think about what have you been consistent with that is not serving. Maybe it's hitting snooze. Maybe in the first quarter, and again, we're not looking at last week. We're looking at the whole first quarter. Okay, so I know we just started gut protocol and that's shifted a lot of us, but I want you to really be reflective of the entire quarter. Yeah, so what's not serving you? Maybe it's snooze. Maybe it's not doing income producing activities. I haven't been consistent. I get my posts done, I do my stories, I check into my bod groups, but I don't invite, I don't connect. These could also be like things that you're doing that are like within your thought process. Maybe you've been consistent with tearing yourself down, and that's not serving you. Maybe you've been consistent with something you're playing on loop and telling yourself. So a couple things that you've been consistent with that's also not serving you. All right, and this is the power of habits, you guys. Again, these are other things you can come back to this and you can keep adding to this list. And I highly recommend doing that. Let this be something you allow to flow all week long. I love the phrase slow down to speed up. And here at the onset of a new month, a new season, a new quarter, let's like slow down and get our thoughts processed and ready so that we can speed up and actually do something. Like, again, like I said, so many people just go, 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 go. They don't ever stop and take a breath and say, what's working and what's not. And that's what we're doing tonight. This is habit 101, you guys. There are habits that serve us and there's habits that do not serve us, right? And so when somebody's like, I just want to build habits, it's like, you can build terrible habits, right? And funny enough, it's really easy to become habitual at eating donuts and like coffee every morning on your commute. That could become a habit in 2 days. But 2 days of trying to eliminate gluten and alcohol and dairy from your diet, that feels like torture, right? So think about it. Sometimes habits, like, why is it that the habits that don't serve us are so easy to stick sometimes, right? And so I want you to remember that and give yourself a little bit of grace for that. But you have to ask yourself, is what I'm doing serving the direction I want to go? And if not, boom, amazing. You can change at any time. You literally can, this moment, in this call tonight, in your journal right now, be like, nope, line in the sand moment. That's not serving me. That's not who I am anymore. And I don't do that. Right. And that's the kind of like, sometimes that's the kind of like mindset shift we have to make. Okay. And then I've asked this question about you and about your business at the end of 2021, but I want you to you can go back and read what you wrote if you have it in front of you, but I want you to write it again. And it actually might be fun for you to write it right now and then go back and read what you said and then do a cross comparison and see, have you grown since you wrote that down? I'm going to guess chances are yes. But last question on this, what would make 2022 feel like a success in your business? What would make it feel successful? Because that's the thing. We can achieve diamond, but if it doesn't feel the way we thought it was going to feel when we get to diamond, we're going to be disappointed. You know what I mean? So I want you to really think about the feeling of that mountaintop. What will it feel like for you to achieve that rank goal, to achieve that income goal? What is that feeling like for you? Take a second, write that. All right. In the chat, we're gonna keep moving and grooving. In the chat, okay, we already did the what has gone well, what was the highlight so far? Love it. Okay, tell us something that you've been consistent with that you know is moving you in the direction that you're very proud of. Give us a brag, give us a humble brag. One thing. PD every day, all day, day. Yep, love it. Meal planning, workout early morning, every morning. Yes, working on my mindset. So good. Being real with all my posts. Holly, yes. And Holly, I don't know if you're already following me, but follow me and I'll follow you back. And if you're already following me, just nudge me so I can follow you back. Because I want to see. That's so awesome. Struggles, vulnerability, etc. So good. 3 PD books so far this year. Yes, girl. Showing up on our team page and in blog groups, not just reading and seeing what's there, but also reacting and commenting. Yes, in the trenches. I love it. Okay, tell me something not serving you right now. Let's just put it out in the light. Because here's the thing. This is not public shaming. This is bringing those things to the light because in the darkness, they grow. Things of beauty, like beautiful flowers and fruits and vegetables, they grow in light, but some of the most terrible things grow in darkness. And that would be anything that is not serving you. The snooze, going to bed too late. I know. Not consistently doing those income producing activities or power hours, negative self-talk and doubting myself, which isn't serving me, I don't invite. I love it. I love the honesty. When I say I love it, I mean, I don't love the negative things or the things that aren't serving you. I love the honesty because when we bring it to the light, we can be like, I know I can do that. Like, it's not like groundbreaking, earth shattering. It's just a choice I'm making. Not doing regular power hours and falling off social on the weekends. Holly said, not posting what I'm doing for everyone to see on my personal pages, fearing judgment. So normal, so normal. You're in good company. We've all felt that before or at times. Okay, cool. I'm going to move on. So let me slide her. Can I slide her face a little bit? So I want to talk really briefly. You know, I'm like the realist. You know, I'm going to be the person in here that's not going to just like, okay, what's happening in my life? Hold on. I tried to pull something and then I've got like my messenger open. Lord Almighty. There we go. You know, I'm going to be a little bit real with you because at the end of the day, some people, like I said at the beginning of this call, some people get on the call and some people thought of it as an option. Mondays aren't an option for me. They never have been. Even when there was not a single face on this call. And trust and believe tonight, y'all, there's 6 others with me right now. And I'm so grateful again for your time. But had there been no others with me, you better believe I would have recorded it and I would have posted it and I would have probably made a teachable moment out of it. That might have pissed some people off, but remember, I'm a coach, not my problem, right? So I have to make sure that, you know, I'm not just sugar candy coating things for you guys because everything's a choice. And so what happens when you feel like you're behind, when, you know, that feeling, let's go back to this. What happens when you get to the end of 2022 and it doesn't feel like what you just wrote down? You feel like you're behind, you feel like you're not there, you feel like you fell short. And then what do you do when there's a lot going on or you feel burnt out? There's the instinct that a lot of people have, which is to give up because we get this what's the point mentality. You know, I love it when it's like the scale went up. Okay, but were you eating cleaner than you've ever eaten in your entire life? You have no idea what's going on inside your body that's healing right now, like on a life-giving level, like adding years to your life, like not going into cardiac arrest or a heart attack because of your food choices. So this whole like exterior thing, sometimes we've got to nip that in the bud because sometimes that is the thing that stops us, is this whole like shiny object mentality and chasing something, right? So our instinct is often to give up, but I want you to think instead, you have to reassess and evaluate. Because a lot of times we fall short, we get behind, we're not there yet, there's a lot going on, and we think that the goal is the problem, and this is where most people quit. those goals that you said up here are not the problem. The problem, my friends, is being off track. The problem is not the goal. The problem is being off track. Oftentimes, you guys, okay, let's just get like very practical. I'm going to drive from here to Michigan this week. I'm going to do a halfway stop in Nashville. I'm going to plug into GPS where I'm going. If I get off track, and you guys can like help me out in the chat. Let's say I get a little off track on the GPS and I make a wrong turn. Is the GPS going to keep me in the woods, keep me in the mud, have me go into a lake, or is it going to course correct me and take me back on track? What's it going to do? It's going to recalculating. It's going to recalculate. It's going to get me back on track, right? I know you wanted that voice. It's going to get me back on track. Nashville's not the problem, y'all. It's my wrong turn. It was getting off track. And so I hope that this ignites you tonight, that if you're on your, like, if you're looking like, okay, my goal was to be 2-star this year, but I'm not near 2-star. Maybe I should minimize my goal, or maybe it's not meant for me, or maybe I'm too busy, or maybe no, the goal isn't the problem. It's what you're doing. It's being off track. It's getting yourself back in alignment. And so we need a little roadmap. So I made very simple roadmaps today. Okay. Each mile marker that you see there is a quarter of the year. So mile 1 is where we're at. Okay. And at mile 1, if your end goal, your finish line, the first one is a trophy. And that's like hitting Success Club All-Star. Okay. You want to be an all-star. You want to hit Success Club every month in 2022. Yeah. Okay. So if that's you, or if that's a goal that you've got, by mile marker 1, you should have at least helped 9 people. That's 3 people in January, 3 people in February, 3 people in March, 9 people. Yeah. You with me? If you've only helped 8 and you're like a little bit over here and like you're starting to get a little off the road, you feel those rumble strips. Yeah. You feel the rumble strips. Okay, guess what? Don't keep driving off the road into the trees. Like, you know, it's that whole Jillian Michaels analogy where like, why would you slash the rest of the tires if one's flat? You wouldn't go around and do that, right? Why drive off course? You're on the rumble strips, just gear back in. Okay, I only helped 8. I guess I need to double down and do a little bit more in Q2, right? Okay. And so each mile marker is like a little benchmark for you. But if you get to the start and you go through the year, meandering, you've got no direction, you never stop to see if you're on track or not, you're going to get to that finish line. And you're like, well, my goal was to hit All-Star, but I only hit Success Club in 2 of the months. And it was very random, haphazard. They weren't even consecutive. What were you doing when you got off track? It's like you hit the rumble strips and you got to navigate back in and get right back on track. Diamond, you guys, this is so simple. We overcomplicate. Diamond is the new emerald, by the way. And emerald is like your standard when you enroll. Like if you're a coach and you enroll, because guys, we have 2 options now. Preferred customer, that means I don't want to work a business. Coach, I want to work a business. So if you're a coach, like your standard should be emerald because your business isn't open. You don't have your open for business sign on until you hit emerald. You literally have not unlocked anything with Beachbody yet until you rank advanced. So emerald is like your new standard, right? Diamond is the new emerald where it's like, let's just take that off the pedestal real quick and let's simplify it. 4 teammates in Q1. That's hitting Success Club plus 1. That's not even hitting Success Club every month, right? By halfway through the year, by June, we're looking at you should have grown your team by 8. By mile marker 3, third quarter, 12 teammates. Now you've overshot how many you need for Diamond. So what do you do in the 4th quarter? You bring it on home. You run Emerald push groups like it's your freaking job. And you help all those people that you've enrolled all year long, because some of them are going to quit. Some of them are going to go inactive, right? Like you have a cushion now with 12 teammates. I'm not even talking about like 12 total teammates. I'm saying you have 12 PS people, not like you've placed people in other business centers. And now you just run push groups, regardless of what Sally or Sue do with it. And you educate your people and you empower your people. And that's how you finish the year strong. Meanwhile, you could totally add 4 more teammates in Q4, and now you have 16, right? And so like that's a simplified way of looking at that. But the goal, my friends, a lot of times we get to the end of the year and we're like, well, I didn't hit Success Club as many times as I wanted, or I didn't go diamond like I wanted, or I didn't achieve the thing that I wanted to achieve. And I think the problem is you've got to look at your roadmap. So go back, look at your roadmap real quick. What was your rank goal for 2022? Go back and look at that. And then you need to see how many people have you added this year? Have you grown your team to help you go towards that goal? And is it offsetting the amount of people that either go inevitably inactive and or quit? Because we have to make sure we're doing that. If you're enrolling 1 person a month, but for every 1 you enroll, 1 person goes inactive or quits, you're always going to be like, trying to come up for air. If you know that 1 person's going to go inactive or quit every month, then maybe you need to enroll 2 or 3 to offset that. It's a numbers game. And when you realize that, you simplify it. It's not because you're a terrible leader. It's not because you suck at Beachbody. It's not because you're not good at this or that. It's because maybe you're just a little off track. Okay. I got to talk about this because this is important. And I've done this with our team often. And I think it's always mind blowing when I do it. I've got to like minimize us so I can see all of it real quick. Make sure you can see the whole pie chart. So hours in your day. I've broken it down for you guys. This is actually not hours in your day. I should have retitled this. This should say hours in your week. Okay. There's not 56. I understand that. This is your week, your whole week. I've given you 8 hours of sleep every night. And some of you guys don't get 8 hours of sleep every night because your moms, bless your heart. Okay. But I've given everybody 8 hours of sleep. That means you sleep 56 hours in the week. I've given everybody a standard 9 to 5-ish job. Okay. 8 to 5 with your hour break in the middle of the day. And so I've given you your work for the week, and I've given you 5 hours of commute time. Okay. Again, this is in general. Some of you, this is going to be more, less. You can see where I'm going with this. I've given you 28 hours in the week to eat and shower. That's 4 hours a day. That means I've given you an hour for every meal to eat and an hour to shower and get ready. So some of you, myself included, I don't take an hour for any of my meals, and I definitely don't take an hour to get ready. So 28 hours though, I'll give it anyway. I've given everybody 6 hours of working out with a rest day. And if I do just that, you have 30 hours left over. Now yours are going to adjust, and I feel free, like by all means, do this for your own life and see where your time's going. Like seriously see where your time is going, because sometimes it is eye-opening at where we're allowing our time to go. I had a conversation with somebody today who's interested in becoming a coach, but she's like, I just don't have any more space in my life for that right now. And I said to her, because at the top of one of the reasons I said you should become a coach, like this would be amazing, is because she's gotten some serious results since the pandemic started. And she teaches Zumba classes. She has a run club she does. She works at she does CrossFit, and she works at a gym. Like she loves fitness, right? And she's like, I don't know how I'd fit any more of that in. But here's the thing, 2 short years ago, she wasn't doing any of that. And all of her time was filled with something. Your time will always be filled with something. And so it's about figuring out, like I said, you figured out how to make your workouts a priority, right? And you figured out how to get your classes as a priority and your run club as a priority. Like those became priorities on your plate, and you essentially had to take something off. And so when you look at this though, you realize that there are a lot of extra hours typically that we have choice over. And so even if, I just want to point this out, even if you only worked your Beachbody business 1 hour every day, you'd still have over 3 hours a day to play around with whatever else. So you could binge watch Netflix for 3 hours every day and still work your business for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd still have time for that. So oftentimes I feel like it's really easy to be like, I don't have time. That's an easy like auto response. And if you find that that is your auto response, you guys, I figured out my auto response. It's always, I'm tired. That's my auto response. And I don't think I'm tired, but I'm tired. I'm just always tired. And that's my auto response, like excuse. And it's not serving me. And so if your auto response is that you're busy or you don't have time, I want you to really, really, really think about getting laser focused about how you're using your time. Yeah, so good. Okay, so let's come back to our goals. Let me get back to your faces so I can see them. Hold on. There you are. Okay, let's get back to those goals. Your 2022 business goals. What has been getting your attention so far in 2022? Go ahead and be honest. Write some things down. What have you given your attention to? Maybe you entertain, maybe right now you're entertaining too much of the I can't, or I'm not good enough, or maybe it won't be me, or like, you know, like maybe you're entertaining the fear dialogue. Maybe snooze has been getting your attention. Maybe Netflix has been getting your attention. Maybe you've been giving too much of your attention to your 9 to 5 past hours that are billable. That's good, right? I know as a teacher, I had to be really clear with that because I didn't get paid past 3:20 p.m. So why the heck was I working till 7? Same thing when I was coaching like color guard and my dance stuff. I'd hang around and do all this extra stuff that I wasn't getting paid for. And that was my choice, but I was also wasting my precious hours doing things that weren't actually serving the person I wanted to become, only because I felt bad for letting someone else down. Okay, now what needs your attention? So what's been getting your attention? Now flip it. What needs your attention? As we move into this quarter to summit, post summit, what needs your attention? Let's come up for air and share that with each other. What has been getting your attention? And how are you shifting that? What do you think needs your attention? Give us the yin yang of it. And Chelsea, in the chat, what you said about your kids being an excuse and now seeing Colton, like watching you, like, first of all, that's incredible. Like, that's so amazing. And it's just like, it's an inspiration to me as not a mom yet, of like what's possible when you are a mom, right? Because it's really easy to, I know in our culture, it's easy to make that the excuse. I've had people who've made their unborn, not even conceived yet children an excuse for why they can't do something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't have anything to stand on because I'm not a mom, but I just find that so powerful, the example you're setting. And I also think, I'm going to nudge it. I think that's a post. I don't know. I think that's something that your people should see often, that you're a mom and you're working out with the kids, making it happen, that they're your reason, not your excuse. Giving too much attention to, oh, wow, it started going fast. Too much attention to thoughts that I'm not good enough, thin enough, enough, right? You could insert blank enough, and I'm sure you'd find something, right? To reach my goals. Going to dive into some PD, focus on that so I can prepare to be the leader that I want to be. And I love that. And, Leah, I'm going to give you a little truth love that I gave Kristen earlier when we were kind of talking about some things that I think it's just important sometimes. Sometimes we don't need fixing of like, I feel like I need to find the right book or find the right course that'll teach me how to do this. And yes, there, like, absolutely, there are things we can read and things we can watch and listen to that could totally and radically change the way we're thinking and help us get out of a rut or have a different perspective or try something new. Absolutely. I do that all the time. So please continue reading the PD. But sometimes I think too is it's sometimes like we're going to the book to see if we can find the answer. And what I'm trying to tell you is the answer is within you, that there's nothing wrong with you. And that sometimes it's just a matter of taking action to combat the thing that's trying to tear us down. What I know as a believer is that the enemy will distract us in any way, shape, and form from doing the thing that he knows will bring glory to this world and light. So if you feel distracted, even if it's just the voice in your head, that's a big thing that you got to start looking out for. Oh, I'm so glad you needed this call. Oh, the nothingness and busy work. Hi, we should have a busy work anonymous club, even though we're no longer anonymous. I love it, right? Let me just sit here and pretend I look like I've done something all day, right? Yeah, hello. And guys, sometimes I think I would really love to be in a busier coach's shoes where I was back in the classroom. Now, Lord, hear me. I don't want to go back to the classroom. But sometimes I'm like, man, if I had less time, I think I'd be more productive. That's all. Because sometimes when you have all day, you take all day to do it, which is also why we're having this call tonight. Because if I gave you your 2022 vision call in January, and then I let you go for the year, and I said, December of 2022, how'd it go? You guys should slap me and be like, well, you never checked in on me. We're checking in right now so that you don't use this whole year to achieve that goal, because you won't. You know what I mean? Like, we're giving ourselves a little bit more of a deadline now and a focus so that we can get to work. Needs my attention, the IPAs and working this business. Yep. And so now that we know stuff like this, we can also lean on each other for accountability with that and really get, focused back in on this stuff. Wasted time on social media has been getting, oh, Chelsea. Yes. Yes. I was just talking to Charlie about our phones scare me right now. And actually, I'll tell you, I spoke with my therapist last week that sometimes in Beachbody, I feel conflicted because my job is on a phone and I don't want my values for you guys is your family, your marriages, you as human beings, your joy, and protecting our peace on social media is really important. I don't want you guys to be on your phone 24/7, 365. I don't want the first thing you do in the morning is to be opening up your phone and looking at social media, right? But yet we're in a business where that's where we work. And so how do we protect our peace and our space and get boundaries around that, right? Because Julie Vora said something the other day on a call that I was listening to. It was something like, the person asked, how do I not be addicted to my phone? And she's like, you're a grown ass woman in 2022. Stop. Don't be addicted to your phone. Just stop it. So same thing, you guys, we're grown GA dubs. Yeah. And so we know that if social media is sucking us in and it's not healthy or productive, we got to get one of those snap bands on our wrists so we can cut ourselves out of that. Kristen, what's been getting my attention is the tasky stuff for me to feel organized and ready. Ooh, yes. But then not actually taking the action, right? Let's get a good script written out today. Okay. Make sure it says what we want to say, but then never send it. Been there, done that. Holly struggles to know what I put my time into that doesn't need it. Mom of 3, running a daycare, 5 kids, cooking, cleaning, all the things. Yes, I make time for me and never feel guilty about it. That's so good. And Holly, you and Nicolette, I see now why you guys are the way that you are. Yeah, I love that. Oh, it's so good. I love it, Chelsea. Okay, let's keep moving and grooving really quick so I don't steal your entire night. Okay, so the goal. Some of you guys said your goal was, I want to get way back because I got to call y'all out in a loving manner. The goals. Okay, Diamond, 5K a year, SC for 11 out of 12 months, Success Club, period, income to offset sports fees, Emerald. So Chelsea wants to hit it and hold it because she's hit it but lost it. So it's possible, girlfriend. But now how do you hold it? You don't stop at Emerald, right? Anybody on this call, I see Kristen shaking her head, Leah nodding, Ashley nodding, right? Yep, Leah's nodding. If your strategy is I hit Emerald and I stop, you're going to lose it every time. Yeah. And that is this business. It's not you. You're not like, I'm the exception. Nope. It's everyone. It's just a numbers game. Ashley, 1 star, SC every month, NLC, income for emergencies, but transitioning from the bedside, helping pay bills and contributing to things like groceries and whatnot. Yes. 5-star diamond for Kristen. I'm puking with you. No, I wrote an income, I put 100K and I wrote puke next to it. Okay. Team up, dream up, summit party, dinner with team at summit, retreats with team, income steady, 1K per month. Yes. Oh, Leia, 1 star, hitting SC for 12 months, helping at least 3. NLC in 2023, in-person summit this summer. Yep. Let me see if I missed anybody else. Okay, I think that's what we got. So what's stopping you? Take a second, be honest with yourself, give your own self a loving gut check and truth bomb. What's stopping you? My own thoughts, me. Oh, I'm going to rephrase that though, Leah. They didn't quit on you. They quit on themselves. Because you didn't quit. So you didn't lose. You know, and I think about that a lot, you guys. If I got on this call and again, like I said, if I had done it to an empty screen and just myself and recorded it, I would have got better. I would have got practice. If I get on an action hour and no one's there, I'm doing my job. Not my problem, right? And so in this business, sometimes you really have to separate yourself from thinking that other people are doing things to you, because everyone here gets ownership of their own thing, right? So they didn't quit on you, sis. Don't ever tell yourself that. They quit on themselves. I don't think I can do it. Can't hit SC or Emerald if I don't invite anyone. That's stopping you. Yep. Heck yeah. Aw, Leia, I love it. I'm so glad that it's like, again, these like emotional, visceral reactions. Like I was telling Kristen earlier today about it. Like when you get emotional about it, like there's meaning behind that. We don't get emotional about things that don't matter to us. So those are always clues that you're headed in the right direction when you get choked up about something, that it matters to you. That's when I knew, you guys, that I was going to quit Orange Theory Fitness, was because of how I reacted when they were like, when they kind of like poked fun at my beach body thing. And my reaction on the way home, I was shaking. I was like crying. And I got home and I wrote in my resignation that day for 2 weeks, because of my reaction told me everything I needed to know about how passionate I was about this. Ashley says, myself, not thinking I'm capable, playing it safe and small. Which is so funny to read that out loud. If you're reading that out loud with me, it's kind of funny to read that out loud, because lately it doesn't feel like Ashley's playing small at all, but you can see how that loop will come back to you, won't it? It'll always keep coming back. So whatever you're telling yourself, I promise you, in a year from now, you'll probably still tell me the same thing. It'll be at a different level, but it's always going to be that same limiting belief that's going to loop back and get you every time. Honestly, get afraid to hit goals like 12 months out of the year for SC, knowing that I didn't hit it last month. So part of me already feels like a failure. I think you'd be a failure if you had put in your cancellation and stopped trying. I'm just going to throw it out there. You know, you're still here. And then you bounce. Like, that's the other thing. The bounce back, you don't hit it in February, but then in March you say, now watch me. I think that's more impressive. Because what if you had not hit it in February and then March you said, I'm just going to coast. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to stay away. Instead, no, Leah, you started getting on Win the Morning every single stinking morning. You're always on team calls. You're always participating in things. You're in all of our push threads. You hit SC this last month. Like, to me, that's not a failure. To me, that means you learned from your mistake in February and you fought back in March. That sounds successful to me. Okay. What are you committing to in Q2? What actions are key? What actions? And like, don't you dare drop IPAs. Okay. Cause we all know that, but what does that mean? Like, what do you have to do in Q2? Like, okay, maybe your goal was you're going to be diamond for summit and you haven't added a single coach. So what are you committing to? I'm inviting to coaching. I'm going to run my own coach sneak peek. I'm going to post more about coaching. I'm going to make story slides that talk about like how my life has transformed as a coach to invite people to learn more. I'm going to get on Zoom call with a potential coach and talk to them about the business so that I don't just, shy away in an inbox, but they actually hear my voice and we can chat or go for coffee, right? Sometimes those one-on-one interactions are way more important. So guys, what are you committing to? And if it's like Chelsea, where I know, the thing holding you back is inviting, like pull out all the stops. What about inviting? What's everything you can think of? Working, hand in hand on scripting, sending your invites to other coaches so that they can give you feedback. Maybe you need a better system of what happens when they say yes. Have you created a Google form? Do you have an email to send them? Have you created the systems that we've already given you, but actually like duplicated them for yourself so that after you do the invite, it's not so scary, because when they do say yes, you're already prepared, right? Two PCs in Q2 and 2 coaches, finishing gut protocol and being consistent, getting on when the AM and doing lunchtime power hours with Nicolette so we can push each other. I love that. And you guys, back to the top, when I talked about how beautiful that is to like be able to look back on your stories and see, share it all, the recipes, the workouts, the community, your life. Let's not just post, one workout clip and call it good and then wonder why no one's joining us. Yeah. Like you've got to encompass and embody the lifestyle of healthy living. Post more about coaching in general. I want to add 8 new teammates and grow my mom's account to Diamond. Yup. And girlfriend, I will tell you, the year that I wanted to grow my mom's account to Diamond and did, at this point, she probably had nobody in her downline. And we ended up getting her to Diamond in that August push group. So girl, you don't even you're inches away from that goal. And you're further along than I was. Committing to hitting SC the rest of the year by first off waking up early to get going and not dawdle. Hello, waste time, intentional power hours every day. Learn and get more comfortable with posting and inviting to coaching. It's a skill set, just like anything else in this business. It's a skill set, and there are YouTube videos out there for that. And just like I've shared before, you guys, observation. How are other coaches you admire talking about coaching? And how can you take their words and make it sound like your story, right? So until you start to get comfortable and the words just start flowing for themselves. Okay, what's a solid Q2 goal you're working towards? So you know what you want to do by the end of the year. Where do you need to be halfway? What's your halfway mark? If your goal was that you want to be an all-star, then what's your halfway mark? You got to hit SC 6 months out of the year. Three star, 1 star. Four more PCs by the end of Q2. Yep. And again, you guys, I know some of these are like scary and puke, but the more we give ourselves time, the more time we take. So if you feel also like the things you could do in the next 3 months, you've got to find like a happy balance. You don't want them so far that you're never going to be able to do it and then you're disappointed. And you don't want them so easy that you kind of lollygag and then you don't make it happen and then you're disappointed because it was like not big enough or exciting enough for you to even run for it, right? Yes, Holly, it's okay. You're okay. You're 100% okay. I love the transparency. You're in good hands. We are going to guide you every step of the way with that. Yay. All right, Chelsea, have a great night. Okay. So that's really it for that, you guys. And like I said, I want you guys to, like, all week long, I left like a huge page for my what went well, because I know I want to come back to it, right? So throughout the week, keep coming back to these questions, because you might in a different moment or with a little bit of more caffeine in you, I don't know, on your, maybe today was your green tea day and tomorrow's your black coffee day. I don't know. But what, you know, when you have that moment, you might realize, wow, I did that and I did that. And it's important that you're looking at every little thing you've done well to move the needle forward, because then you're going to just keep stacking those good things one on top of another, right? And then anything that you came across tonight that you're like, that's not serving me, let it go. Put it on a piece of paper and set it on fire and let it go, right? Like, it's not serving you. Don't hold on to it. Don't keep it. And if you have to wake up every morning and let it go again, wake up every morning and let it go again. Trust and believe I have to do that a lot. And lastly, you guys, for the next quarter, I'm opening up one-on-ones again, but I'm doing a very specific one-on-one situation, and it's for anyone on our team. I don't have to be your PS, but I have 12 spots for people who truly desire one-on-ones with me to mastermind and move the needle forward. And they can either be weekly, same time, same place every week, or they can be bi-weekly if you'd prefer that. But I'm going to start creating FOMO with these stickers, because there's, in my opinion, way more than 12 people who have potential to do outstanding things on this team. And I want to be able to walk hand in hand with you and help out and help guide. Now, these aren't therapy sessions, and these aren't, these are sessions for me to help coach you, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And there's a book that I've gotten, and there's a book that I will require you to get to also read along the way, so that not only do you understand my perspective coming in to help coach and guide you, but you can also start to see how you can coach and guide and help others along the way too. And so that book is called The Prosperous Coach. If you want to snag it, I'm going to tell you that it's quite an expensive book. On, like, normally it's like $69 normally, but right now on Amazon it's on sale for $38. So you might want to, like, if you're serious about masterminding with me in Q2 once a week or every other week, I want you to snag that book, because it's going to be crucial. It's going to be so helpful in asking yourself better questions about how you're approaching your business and your goals, and how I can help, like, navigate along the way. I didn't share much of my goals or anything like that with you guys tonight, because truly I'm at a place where my goal is to see your goals come true. And I don't win if you guys don't win. And I don't mean that in a rank way. Like, I don't get 5-star if you guys don't go diamond. I could care less. Like, I want you to go diamond because you want to go diamond. I want you to be on a call tonight because you genuinely want to be on a call. And if you don't genuinely want it, I genuinely don't want to work one-on-one with you. And I love everyone so much, but right? Like, put yourself in my shoes. Would you want to work with somebody one-on-one that doesn't really care? Not really, right? And so anyway, that's the book. That's the nitty gritty. I'm going to be posting these 12 slots. And then once I see that somebody is signed up for one, then we'll navigate, like, what is your set day and time, and we'll make sure that that works together. Cool. Oh, if you want to see your name on it, you just tell me, you tell me, you just tell me, you just tell me the word. Yeah, you can claim them now. I'm going to hit stop.